Hey guys, it's Mikey. Today's video is going to be the assembly of the net for our ball cart. As you can see, the frame is already put together, and what comes with the frame and the net is obviously the net, 4 bungees, and 2 rolls of twine. We also give you zip ties, but in this video we don't need them, so I'll show you how to use them without the zip ties. So we'll start with the net. So we're going to start this area of what we call our rope border. It's a little bit thicker than the rest of the net. The net itself is pretty darn thick, but this is a thicker part of the net. This is where we start. It's our compass, what we call our rope border. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put it to the right side, and we're going to match it up to the right side. That's how you start. That's where your compass is for the ball cart. You match it up with this right side, the right hand side. So if you are, pushing the ball cart, this right side is where you start. Okay, and so we'll start with 1 bungee, and we've matched it up to right here. So as you can see, this is where it's going to match up. So you put a bungee just as a placeholder right here. And so the trick is, it's a little confusing to put this together, but the trick is to find where this is going to be and how the bottom is going to match up with the bottom of the frame. And so the net itself is going to have, like this rope border in the top right corner, the bottom is going to be also a thicker rope. And you're going to try to match that with the bottom of the frame. And so while we do that, if you want to come closer and I can show you, is that this is here, you can see that, and then this rope border right here is going to match up with this part of the frame. This is going to match up here, and this is going to match up here. You'll see a little bit more in clarity as I'm putting this together, but just to give you a little bit of a precursor of how to put it together. So then, you're going to put the bottom where it is, and this is where you're going to find the second bungee ball. So basically what we're trying to do is just match the bottom to the bottom. And as the video goes on, you'll be able to see what I'm saying. So like I said, these bungee balls just hold the net in place before I get the twine out and before I start weaving it through in order to make it look nice and tidy. So we got that together. You can a little bit see of how it's supposed to be put together, but once I weave the twine, you'll be able to really see. So you get 2 pieces of twine. We'll start with 1. If you're judicious with your twine, you'll be able to get it through with only 1 piece, which would be very nice. If not, you can just tie the piece of twine together. So, like I said, we always start, if you're pushing the ball cart, we start with this side, okay? So you have 1 piece of twine. You start with the right side, and however you want to tie it, you tie off one side to the ball cart, to the frame, through the net. I'm just doing a very simple knot, and I'm going to do it 3 times over just to hold it in place. And then I'm going to use the other end of the twine, and I'm going to start weaving. And when I weave, I'm going to go through every single square of the net so that you can see it goes all the way through. And make sure you pull that all the way through. So you got that here. And then you have this square, and you go all the way through. Make sure it's as tight as possible. It's fairly tedious, but once you get it right, it's going to look great. And as you're doing it, you can take the bungee balls off. They just hold it in place, but if you have the twine, you no longer need the bungee balls. But here I'm gonna probably run out of twine eventually, and no problem there. I'll just be able to tie the two pieces together and we'll start anew. So as you can see, about halfway through, I'm starting to run out. And the reason why I'm running out is because I'm going through every single hole in the net. You don't have to do that, but for aesthetic purposes, it's best to do that just to make it look as good as possible. But once again, you don't have to. See, I'm running out, so all I'm going to do is tie these two pieces together. Keep it tight and continue on. We're going to go back to where we started and then just tie it off. I usually like to tie it to the top of the frame. Pretty simple. And you just cut that off and use your bungee balls that we had before, and just tie them off to where they're supposed to be. We recommend that you tie the bungee balls to the bottom of the frame just to make it look as good as possible. That's it. That's your ball cart. That's how you do it. Pretty easy setup. Not very hard. All you gotta do is make sure that you're able to match up the bottom of the frame, the bottom rope borders, and we always start on the right side where this rope border is. That's all you gotta do. Thank you.